What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another New Comic Book Day Top 10 list. Today I'm going to be going over my Top 10 list for New Comic Book Day, June 15th, 2022. This was a very solid week for new comics. I'm very excited to talk about them with you. I picked up a total of 10 issues this week, but before I get started off on any of these new comics, if you are new to the channel, I drop weekly comic book content that's going to keep you up to date on all of the latest releases. So if you want to miss out on any of that, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below and the little bell to get notified. Every time I drop new content, you won't regret it. And as always, everyone, as I begin to talk about this top 10 list, just be aware there's definitely going to be spoilers. I get very excited talking about these books. I let some stuff slip up, but I do put a little spoiler tag down below in the corner to give you a heads up that a spoiler is about to happen. And now let's jump right into this top 10 list. Alright, everyone, so to kick this top 10 list off first, we've got coming in at number 10, this is Marvel's Iron Fist, issue number 4. This is cover A. This has honestly been a pretty solid series. I like the artwork. In this issue in particular, I really like the pacing. I feel like they've done a pretty solid job developing the characters and just the plot of the story as well. This issue in particular was a ton of action. It basically has been everything they've been building up this entire time. So a ton of fighting. The only issue that I'm having with this series so far is basically all on my end. I don't really know a lot about the Swordmaster. I haven't read any of his stuff. I don't know what even Iron Fist has been up to. And some of these other characters that we're being introduced to, personally, I'm not 100% sure if they've already been introduced to us, if these are reoccurring characters, if they're new characters. So I feel slightly lost, but at the same time, not completely lost. I'm still enjoying it. I still do recommend it if you're interested in learning about some of these characters. Like I said before, they're doing a pretty solid job with it, but I would love to talk about it more down below with you guys. But for those reasons, we've got Iron Fist, issue number 4, coming in at number 10. Next up on my list this week, we've got coming in at number 9, this is Marvel's Spider-Gwen, Gwenverse, issue number 3, this is cover A. This was probably my favorite issue of the series so far. In general, I had a lot higher expectations for it. I feel like every issue is just kind of falling short. Every issue we get introduced to a new Gwen Stacy. In this one in particular, we got introduced to an Iron Man Gwen, I guess an Iron Woman Gwen, and I really like that one. I felt like this issue in particular really had a lot more development, a lot more stuff was happening. We got to see a lot more characters in action. In this one, they went into the past. Norman Osborn and the Green Goblin made an appearance. So overall, I thought it was a very well done issue, but as I said before, just in general, I feel like the series has really fallen short. If it wasn't for me holding out that Spider-Zero's identity is going to be revealed in this series, I honestly would have dropped it by now. This one, in my opinion, is definitely better read as a trade paperback, hardcover format, eventually when they do release it. And like I said, I do think the only reason I'm still reading it is hoping that Spider-Zero's identity does get revealed. So for those reasons, we've got Spider-Gwen, Gwenverse, issue number 3, coming in at number 9. And folks, now we've got coming in at number 8 this week, this is Marvel's What If Miles Morales Became Thor, issue number 4, this is cover A. This was a great issue and a fantastic recovery from the third one. Really didn't like the last issue at all. I think I gave it number 9 or number 10 on my list. That's the issue where Miles Morales becomes the Hulk, and it just didn't really deliver. However, with this one, as far as these little kind of one-shot stories go, in the end, it's all going to tie together, but until that time comes, they are kind of just little tie-in one-shots. So this one, he obviously becomes Thor, and it felt like a very well done issue. From the beginning, middle, and end, just the pacing, the development of the story. In this one, obviously Miles is Thor, the uncle plays the part of Loki, and then his dad's got the role of Odin. And other than that, I mean, a ton of action, we got a nice beginning, leads us to the action, and it wrapped up just like the other issues did. All the Mileses just kind of come together and say, hey, we got a problem and we need your help. Overall, great issue. Just as far as the series goes, I'm a big fan of it as well. Just that third issue, not really my thing, but I'm really excited to see how they kind of wrap this one up. But for those reasons, we've got What If Miles Morales Became Thor, issue number 4, coming in at number 8. Next up on my list this week, we've got coming in at number 7, this is Boom Studios' Grimm, issue number 2, this is cover A. Now, I really enjoyed this issue, I really like the artwork, I love the development of the story, however, I'm not sold on it like everybody else is. I talked to a lot of people, they're really hyping up this series so far, 2 issues deep, they're saying, yo, Grimm is fantastic, best series of the week. I don't know about that. I'm enjoying it. I like the artwork, I like the just overall development of the story, the characters seem there in their nice places too. But I don't know, I want to see where they go with this. In this one in particular, we got introduced to a few more characters. We got a little bit of backstory as to what is happening. Our main character, she, if you can recall from the last issue, she kind of had a little touch with the living, and that threw everybody off. This one's just kind of dealing with that, and now she's trying to figure out how she actually died, because including herself, nobody knows how she died, but all the other Grimms do. This issue, I did really enjoy it, but like I said, I'm not completely sold on it like everybody else. I want to see how they develop it just a little bit more. Want to hear your opinions on it down below, but for those reasons, we've got Grimm, issue number 2, coming in at number 7. Next up this week, we've got coming in at number 6, this is Marvel's new series, we've got Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty, issue number 1. This is the variant cover for it. I absolutely love this cover. I think it's fantastic, and if you can recall from my previous video, I wasn't even sure if I was going to pick this one up. I was going to wait to see how the rest of my week looked, and man, I saw this cover. They didn't even have cover A. If they had cover A, I probably would have skipped over it, but this is a fantastic cover. Now, the issue itself, overall, I think they did a phenomenal job with it too. The artwork was great, but this first issue, we had a lot of backstory on just Captain America, how he feels about just the world, the shield, what everything and everyone around him means to him. But then once we get that out of the way, we develop the story a little bit, a ton of action, and we get left on a nice cliffhanger. That's all I'm going to leave you with, because like I said, this issue really surprised me. I had no expectations for it, barely even wanted to pick it up, but man, this was a good one. This was a nice little thriller, and overall, from beginning to end, I was hooked. And for those reasons, we've got Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty, issue number 1, coming in at number 6. And now, everyone, we're down to our top 5 issues of the week. We've got coming in at number 5 this week. This is Image's Radiant Black, issue number 15. This is cover A. I love this series. I'm definitely a little biased. I'm a big Power Rangers fan, and this just feels like its own unique little take on the Power Rangers. I enjoy the artwork, the characters, the story development. Everything just feels so well done for this story so far. I even love the little tie-ins and one-shots they're doing as well. This issue in particular goes a little bit different of a route. Sometimes there's a lot of action, a little bit of story development, but this one in particular, I really enjoy what they did with just Nathan and Marshall. They were best friends, and now Marshall is the new Radiant Black character, and you see some problems building up between them, because even though he is the Radiant Black character, Nathan is the one that's talking to just that being, just out in the middle, dealing with all the Radiants, and that character is not talking to Marshall at all. I'm really enjoying that. One of the commenters from, I think, the previous video or the last time I reviewed a Radiant Black issue, they said they would love an introduction to just, the Power Rangers Green Ranger, just a big new problem. I don't know, maybe that's going to be Nathan's character. We'll see how that goes. Other than that, a lot of dialogue between the characters, nice little story build-up, not a lot of action, if any action at all, but that was the main juice of this issue. Big fan of the series, but for those reasons, we've got Radiant Black, issue number 15, coming in at number 5. Now, folks, I'm not going to lie. These top 4 issues were fantastic. They were very hard to put in order, but we've got coming in at number 4 this week. This is Boom Studios, Alice Ever After, issue number 3. This is one of the variant covers, and I absolutely love this cover. You guys know I pretty much only go for cover A, but I saw this, I had to grab this one. This issue, another fantastic one. The artwork, the storytelling, the plot development, everything about this series is just getting better and better by the issue. We're learning more about Alice. In this one, we get a little bit of a history lesson of her, pretty much why she became the way that she did. I don't really want to spoil anything, but it's a unique take on the story of Alice in Wonderland, and in this one, she's basically just a drug addict, but is she a drug addict for her own reasons, or did someone make her that way? They develop it a lot more from there. We get to see, like I said, some of her backstory, how she became that way. Such another fun issue. Definitely check this one out. 3 issues deep. I'm sure you can find the back issues for this one. I highly recommend it. But for those reasons, we've got Alice Ever After, issue number 3, coming in at number 4. Next up this week, we've got coming in at number 3, this is Image's Slumber, issue number 4, this is cover A. This is another series that every time it releases, I am always looking forward to it. I absolutely love this one. The artwork and every single issue, just the character and plot development of it just goes above and beyond. This one in particular, like I always say, this one was probably my favorite issue of the series so far. They have just gotten better after every single one of them. This one in particular, our main characters, they're still chasing Valkyria, they're in a nightmare, but we get some crazy twists and turns from there. This is going to be a small spoiler, but while they're hunting her, is it Valkyria that's actually hunting them? Oh, I love it. She is now kind of out in the open. Nobody knows where she is. They thought they had a nice lead, but they don't. I'm so excited for the next issue. I highly recommend this one. But for those reasons, we've got Slumber, issue number 4, coming in at number 3. Folks, we are down to our final 2 issues of the week. We've got coming in at number 2 this week. This is Image's One Shot. Undiscovered Country, Destiny Man, issue number 1. This is cover A. I thought this one was going to get the pick of the week. I was really looking forward to it. I absolutely love Undiscovered Country. It's one of my favorite ongoings from Image right now. This book was just that good. However, this one was phenomenal in its own way, but I will tell you, unlike the Nocterra Blacktop Bill special, you absolutely need to be reading this series to understand what's going on. That one, you obviously do too, but you could still pick it up and get a nice origin background story on Blacktop Bill. Imagine that, except this one is now kind of an origin story on the Destiny Man. But there's a reason they call him the Destiny Man. There's a reason for everything, and you learn a lot about it in this issue. I don't want to spoil anything. I know a lot of people have talked to me about wanting to read this series. They were waiting for just a trade paperback, hardcover. But this one, like I said, you really get an origin story. You learn a lot about just the country, Aurora, everything. They explain a lot. Phenomenal issue. Definitely check it out. But for those reasons, we've got Undiscovered Country, Destiny Man, the one-shot, coming in at number 2. And this is it, everyone. My top read of the week. We've got coming in at number 1 this week. This is Aftershocks, Bunny Mask, The Hollow Inside, issue number 2. This is cover A. Now, I'll tell you what, that first volume, while I really enjoyed it, I would recommend you definitely read it, especially before the second volume. But this second volume has been phenomenal. The introduction of the Hollow character is crazy. I love just everything that character's about. Very mysterious. We barely know anything about him. We did learn a little bit more in this issue, but man, every time that character pops up on the pages, I'm like, something crazy is about to happen, and it does every single time. Bunny Mask, a crazy character too. We see something happen with her in this one, but other than that, we do get a lot of storytelling. We get to see some of the different perspectives of the characters and just how they're going about their day-to-day and just everything that they're up to. But man, I will tell you, the Bunny Mask, the Hollow, I love it. Definitely check out this newest volume. If you were kind of on the fence, you were like, the first volume of Bunny Mask, it was all right. Second volume, we'll wait and see how it goes. No, you definitely got to pick this one up. It was a tough toss-up between this one and the Undiscovered Country issue, but I will tell you, I think I put this one at number 1 specifically because of that Hollow character. Everything that character's about, I know they're going to do something crazy with him. But for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 1 this week, Bunny Mask, The Hollow Inside, issue number 2. So what do you guys think about this week's new comic book day? In my opinion, this was another fantastic week. I'm going to be honest with you. These last couple months now, maybe 3 months at this point, have all been fantastic new comic book days. Obviously, some books I'm probably not going to like as much as others, but for the most part, usually only get 10 to 12 books a week, and I've been very satisfied with all of them. Want to hear your opinions down below. What do you think about my top 10 list? Which books did you pick up this week? What was your favorite one of the week? Let's talk about it. But thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button because it really does help out. And if you want to miss out on any of my upcoming content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and the little bell to get notified every time I drop new content. You won't regret it. And I've got 2 more videos sitting off to the side here with more of my comic book content. Click on one of those and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.